Hi, you guys. What's good? It's Marie Mays. Welcome back to our channel. I'm here to help you win in wellness and propel in purpose. So today, baby, I got a word for y'all. So literally this morning, I was just eating my breakfast, minding my business, and the Lord placed a word on me. And I don't know which one I'm gonna title it yet, but I'm thinking it's gonna be "If Only You Knew." If only you knew, or if you only knew, if you only knew, okay? And so let's just dive right in. What I mean by this is I was literally eating a bowl of fruit this morning, right? And he was speaking to me through the bowl of fruit. Child, that fruit was good. You couldn't have told me nothing. You would have thought I picked that fruit straight from the promised land, baby. The food was busting, okay? So I was eating some grapes, literally. And I don't even know the order of events, how the Lord revealed it to me, but it just like the revelation just came to me, right? And so I was thinking about the giants. I was thinking about the giants in our lives, the things that we're viewing as giants. And it instantly reminded me of the Israelites when they were entering into the promised land, y'all. They gave the bad report to the people saying that we're as grasshoppers in their eyes. They're speaking for these people. They don't know what these people actually thought of them, but that's how they viewed themselves, right? It was a reflection of how they viewed themselves. They said that they're giants in our eyes and we're like grasshoppers to them. But the thing is that right before that, they said, indeed, the land is plentiful, but there's always that but, right? And so right before they started doubting themselves, they were carrying the proof in their hands, right? So they had to give you guys some backstory. They had just went to spy out the land that the Lord had been promising them. And this can also represent the promises that the Lord has been speaking over you guys. He's been sending confirmations. He's been sending proof, right? But we always find that but. We always find that but in the confirmation. It's like, yeah, that's cool, but, right? And so they literally carrying back the proof of the fruit. They had a single cluster of grapes. And I thought my grapes was big this morning, child. The grapes was so big up in this text that it says they had to carry it on a single branch between two people. Can you imagine grapes the size of people's head? Like abundant life, okay? Baby, I'm trying to taste some fruit like that. I thought I was doing something this morning, okay? So the proof was they literally were carrying the evidence in their hands. But they were so focused on the giants that were on the other side that they couldn't see that what was in their hand was the proof. They were carrying the proof in their hands, right? So help me, Holy Spirit, to say it the way that you gave it to me. Literally, like, if only they knew what they were carrying, right? They wouldn't see those enemies as giants. Because really, in the enemy's eyes, the fact that they have the proof in their hands is a giant to the enemy, okay? The fact that they have the proof of the evidence of the fruit of what God has been promising them, the evidence is literally they're carrying it in their hands, but they're unable to perceive what's already in their hands. And so my question for y'all today is, what's in your hands? What proof is already in your hands that you're overlooking? Right? God has sent you confirmation. God has sent you proof of the promise. But you're so focused on the giants over there. You're so focused on that but that you're not seeing that you're already carrying the proof. The proof is already in your hands. You're already carrying the evidence of what God has for you. And it's only a sneak peek. It's literally only a sneak peek. The sneak peek was so mind-boggling to them, but they allowed their focus to be shifted. So let's go to the text here. We're going to really quickly Numbers 13. So I'm going to start with verse 23, and it says, when they came to the valley of Eshcol, they cut down a branch with a single cluster of grapes so large that it took two of them to carry it on a pole between them. They also brought back samples of the pomegranates and the figs, okay? So these are all fruits that were promised to them. And now they're literally carrying it in their hands. And it says that place was called the Valley of Eshcol, which means cluster, because of the cluster of grapes the Israelite men cut there. So grapes are also symbolic of new wine, okay, which is also symbolic of the Holy Spirit. They had the Holy Spirit with them. They had the proof of the promise carrying in their hands, and it was so big. This was only a sneak peek, but it was so big they had to carry it between two people. This is for somebody, and I didn't even plan on saying it. You thinking that you can do it alone. It's so big, it's going to require somebody else to help you. It's so big that the overflow is going to flow into other people in your life. You won't be able to carry it by yourself. And God never meant to carry it. God never meant for you to carry it by yourself, right? He's sending divine connections. He's sending divine help for you to be able to carry this thing with two people because it's so big. It's so big that you won't be able to carry it by yourself, y'all. This is so good. This is so good. So when they came back, it says, after exploring the land for 40 days, 40 days, the men returned to Moses, Aaron, and the whole community of Israel at Kadesh in the wilderness of Paran. Hopefully, I'm not messing these names up. They reported to the whole community. Y'all, be careful of the reports that you're sending out because people are watching you. They reported to the whole community what they had seen and even showed them the fruit that they had taken from the land. So they're showing them the proof. This was their report to Moses. We entered the land you sent us to explore, and indeed it is a bountiful country, a land flowing with milk and honey. Basically, it is everything God said it was. Here's the kind of fruit it produces. But the people living there are powerful, and their towns are large and fortified. We even saw giants there, the descendants of Anak. These are basically like Goliath in them. And it says, but Caleb tried to quiet the people as they stood before Moses. Let's go at once and take the land. We can certainly conquer it. But the men who had explored the land with him disagreed. We can't go up against them. They're stronger than we are. So they spread this bad report about the land among the Israelites. The land we traveled through and explored will devour anyone who goes to live there. All the people saw we were huge. All the people we saw were huge. We even saw giants there, the descendants of Anak. Next to them, we felt like grasshoppers. And that's what they thought too. It's the imposter syndrome. We have to break that imposter syndrome in this hour because I would hate for us, and not for any of my friends who watching this, not for any of my subscribers. If y'all my subscribers, y'all my friends now, okay? Y'all, we can't let the enemy try and punk us out of this thing. We've been praying too long. We've been fasting too long. We've been believing too long. It's our time to go take the fruit. It's our time to take it by force, as Tiffany Montgomery says, okay? And it says we felt like grasshoppers, and that's what they thought too. So I just want to encourage somebody today. Look again at what's in your hand because you're carrying the proof of the promise. You're carrying the proof of the promise. And if they would have just looked in what's in their hand, similar to Moses, if he would have just seen what was in his hand, he didn't know that that staff would be the very thing that would part the Red Sea. The Red Sea to these Israelites were those giants, right? But God already had it taken care of. They're worrying about stuff that's already taken care of. So today I want to encourage somebody, those things that you're viewing as giants that are on the other side of your promised land, just because they got to the promised land didn't mean that they didn't have to fight. But guess what? The fight is already fixed. The fight is already fixed. God already has the details worked out. The same God who gave you the promise is the same God who will bring you through. The same God who gave you the promise is the same God who will supply every need, because at the end of the day, the integrity of heaven is on the line for this thing. God will not be mocked, and he won't let himself be made a fool of. Guess what? God ain't no goofy. Basically, God ain't no goofy. He not finna let himself look crazy. He the one that gave you the promise. It's bigger than you, right? So you're carrying the proof. Look at what's in your hand. Don't let the enemy punk you and try and shift your perspective into that imposter syndrome to make you doubt the very thing that God has graced you for, okay? Nah, not this time, y'all. We not finna get punked off the promise this time. We done waited too long, okay? So the proof of the promise is in your hand. Look again. Look at what's in your hand. You're carrying it. You're carrying it, okay? So the journal prompts for today is, what's in my hand? God, what have you placed in my hand? Lord, what am I carrying? Lord, what proof am I overlooking? Okay, what proof am I overlooking? And I want you guys to study Numbers 13. That is our text today that I want you guys to look over and allow God to reveal new revelation to you, and specific to your situation, because it's so easy for us to get caught up in the giant that we don't realize we're carrying a big old giant in our hand too that the enemy's terrified of. Okay. So I hope this was helpful for you guys. It's definitely a timely word. It's definitely a timely word. Okay. So take this back to the Holy Spirit. Allow him to give you further revelation. I'll link everything below as always. And until then, stay blessed, family. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.